guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber from Kyuujin, and today we are back again, guys, with Viking Valhalla.
Episode 2.
Season 1.
Viking.
Viking. We are Viking.
Yeah. So last episode, we were 100 years after basically Björn, Ivar, all of this. Well, when they created the Great Army to avenge Ragnar.
Yeah.
We still see some traces of these characters. We're still in Kattegat. Because now we need to create this second great army to avenge the Danes, Vikings, the people that were basically unjustly killed in England by King Ethelred.
Ethelred the Second.
Yeah, so he chose to purge his shores of the invaders of old, you know, the Danes, the Vikings that showed up before and that don't belong here. Even though they've been living there for generations at this point, they do belong. This is their home. It's created a conflict of interest because in this second great army we have true Vikings following Odin. We have Vikings, Christian Vikings. And sometimes you have people in the middle who they are Vikings, they are Christians, but they feel that they relate to both and they understand the true purpose of this is to avenge their families.
Goal of families.
Yeah. And in between all of this, we had a group of Greenlanders, especially the two siblings, brother and sister. And the sister was raped and hurt by a Viking Christian when she was a kid, and she wanted revenge for very long. And last episode, she got it.
Yeah.
Now, though, we gotta decide if we kill her.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure she's gonna be fine. Estrid, the current Jarl of Kattegat, so the one in charge in Kattegat, likes her, and she knew her dad, so pretty sure she's gonna be on our side, but we'll see. So yeah, this is pretty much where we are. Very bad recap, but I'm bad at this, so
Good enough.
let's jump in this episode and see what happens next. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of these episodes, and check out our Patreon for the full-length reactions.
In the meantime, let's go.
Do you feel justice?
Yes,
Good for you, because revenge rarely leads to happiness.
I feel cleansed.
Good. Because now they intend to kill us.
I don't believe that. Father said,
Father was wrong. He does not know how much has changed since he left.
and I believe in Jarl Håkon. She will not allow it. She's strong.
She is also in a difficult position.
That's true.
If she releases us, she will start the war.
It's already tense in the camp. But we heard people also be like, "Oh, justice, yay!"
She wasn't alright.
The thing is, like, if those Vikings that are Christians really say they follow their faith and their religion, shouldn't they be okay with that revenge? Like, shouldn't be punished for his sin?
You are accused of murdering a man you claim attacked you.
Did I put this scar on my back?
Any one of your lovers could have done that to you.
The gods know the truth.
False gods!
I knew it was gonna bring back like every fucking episode.
There are those gathered among us who feel that your claims require further proof.
A trial by combat. If I'm lying, the gods will not protect me.
Combat with me.
Are you afraid?
Please, Freydis, stab him to death.
This woman's actions have robbed you of a valuable part of your arsenal.
History was the one that built the defenses.
Therefore, I implore you to acknowledge that debt and make her pay for it with her life.
Tricky situation.
May I speak?
He's a good speaker. Come on, give us a speech.
Since this woman cost you a vital element to our mission,
Add them to the
should
force.
she not be forced to render something of equal, if not greater
He
value?
wanted the brother to be a part of the army.
Such as
A brother.
Yeah,
her brother.
he's a good fighter.
I can personally attest to his fighting skills.
He's not gonna want to do that, but I think this is what's gonna
He's
happen.
not gonna have a choice.
He will be fighting for the life of his sister.
Oh shit. Freydis!
Well, he did say he was gonna help her, so I don't know. He's not dumb, Harald. He saw an opportunity,
And he took it.
and it's also a good opportunity to keep her alive.
I ransom your sister to King Canute. To repay her debt, you must pledge service to his cause.
They're jumping on
Will you
that
accept these
idea.
terms?
Nope.
I do.
You're on your own. Bye.
End of show.
It is done.
Thank you, brother.
1 year ago, on my orders, A decree was sent out that all Danes living on this island be destroyed in a most just extermination. A group of Norse entered this sanctuary of God, purposefully set fire to it.
You did, bitch.
Destroying it.
He's not gonna say that they murdered Christians.
We witness the resurrection of this house of worship.
History is written by the victors.
And their lies.
It's the same sort of chariot or something that that's in Assassin's Creed. So now I keep thinking of mysterious hooded man watching from a distance.
Our spies in the north say the Vikings are preparing for an invasion.
Damn the nobles. They swore the Norse were too busy fighting among themselves to bother with us.
You did what needed to be done to keep them in line.
But it's not their heads the Vikings will want of a pike.
You're trying to play fucking king, man. This is what happens.
She was right. She knew they would come.
Who's she? I love that he basically, by doing this, he spat on what they did back then, but he's about to see why they did that.
If you're expecting me to thank you, you will be disappointed.
You're welcome. Anyway,
I told you what I came for and you took advantage of me.
I think who took advantage of whom is up for debate.
You could have helped me.
I could have had you killed.
And you did neither. What kind of man does that?
A man who is amazed by you.
It must have been love, but it's over now.
We may be gone from Kattegat 5 months or more.
How
You
about
have
round
people
two?
to say goodbye to.
So sorry. Don't die. He's nice. He kind of did take advantage of it, but he was trying to avoid full-on massacre, full-on war in between the ranks. Like, he did good. It sucks, but he did good.
Prince of Norway! 5 months is a long time.
So, you and my sister?
Jargor.
I agreed to fight with Christians, not roll with them.
Suit yourself. But we're leaving, and it's a long swim to England.
Shut your mouth and get on the boat.
You really gotta put that aside, man, because it's gonna be miserable.
All knives and axes in the barrel.
I don't give up my knife for anybody.
There's only one reason to row with a weapon. That is to kill someone else on this boat. Your enemy is not here. What if he is?
Stop that.
If you put problem on my boat, you're out. And who knows, maybe this is gonna bring them together, you know?
But it's also like, it's the first step towards being a crew here. You're gonna survive together, so stop the animosity.
Looks like the actor who played in Troy, you know?
A little, yeah.
Or his brother.
A little bit. It's not him, but a little bit.
Looks like him. You're gonna cause problem, dude. And he knows it.
He's enjoying it already. A queen that looks this badass.
Who is she?
I mean, there was one woman mentioned that knew they were gonna retaliate. Is it her?
They are coming. What do you intend to do?
Fight. I intend to send Edmund to Mercia. On your orders, he will summon Edric Striona to bring his army to London.
I have left you a nightmare.
You married a Norman. We create nightmares.
Perhaps
Do you think that she's descended from Rollo? I mean, she must be like a princess from Normandy.
I mean, it's they're just. It's
No
not
wonder
just
that
them.
she's badass.
It's not just them in Normandy, but still.
This is your first Viking raid.
So from what I understood, it was the nobles who pressured him into doing that, and to calm them, he did this. Still a piece of shit.
Why did he go to Greenland? Because he killed men, even when he wasn't raiding.
You ever killed a man before?
Never had reason to.
The first time is sometimes difficult.
It's no different to killing any other living thing.
A man is different. He fights back.
Animals too.
So does a polar bear.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I would prefer men against a polar bear, you know?
I had no idea you were moving the military operations into the old city.
There's no better fortress for London than the site the Romans chose.
For concentrating our forces in the south, where the river's tides and the marshes provide a natural protection. Are you sure that is a sound idea?
I am. Because I'm expecting the Norse to behave exactly like you. To underestimate me.
Villain or not, I like her. You good? I'm not saying that she's a villain. Not
I'm
yet.
sending Edmund to Mercia.
Triona will ask much for that favour.
Which is why you are to accompany the prince and ensure that doesn't happen.
It is no secret that you have never liked, much less trusted me before.
So I trust you with the king to be?
Yes.
Necessity creates unusual allies. If England is lost, so are we.
I will not fail you.
And in any
I
case, can go behind it.
Us.
Speaking of unity, this is a good way to gain his trust because you need to give a little if you want something in return. If you're always distrustful of someone, he's never gonna work for you.
So far, she's a great queen. I like her.
It's really early to judge, but I'm liking her too.
So far, I like what I see.
She will be fighting us, but still.
If we are to crush London, we do what Vikings have never done. We attack from the south.
There's a reason it's never been done, brother.
Which is why Athelred won't expect it. Because I'm the one who convinced him it was impossible.
I said it last episode, it is a good advantage to have these guys on our side. Never make an enemy out of someone who was your ally before and helped you, prepare.
Yeah.
Time to prove yourself again.
Maybe you should pray to be more careful. You're drinking more purpose.
I did not.
I saw you.
Are you calling me a liar?
It's not the time, guys. There's a storm and...
Sit down and look.
Do you want to die in the storm?
Do you have a problem with my order? I'm fine. I thought you were
It's impossible.
Why take the word of a Christian over my own son?
Because your son is a liar, Jakob. You should hold on. It's about to get rough.
In this ship, it doesn't matter who you are, man. You follow the guy in charge. So shut up.
Your faith is very strong, Freydis. My husband was trading in Tromsø when his ship was stopped by Christians. When they found that he and his men were believers of the old ways, he was ordered to convert. He refused. The Christians decided to make him an example and torture him in front of his men. One by one, they killed them all. Change is happening. And we must be ready.
Hence the why, it doesn't worry you to keep your doors open and allowing people from different beliefs and different backgrounds coming in. Like, you would expect her to close herself and her place, down.
Yeah.
Are you all right?
I wasn't supposed to be here. My brothers were. I'm not king material.
You're gonna have to be.
How do you know you're not precisely the king England needs at this moment?
Alfred managed.
The fact that I voiced my doubts should be evidence enough of my inadequacy.
Those who never acknowledge their doubts are charlatans. I believe that a search of one's soul is a sign of strength, not weakness.
I like him a little bit too.
Yeah.
What's your greatest fear?
Failure.
Do you trust your instincts?
I think so.
There will come a day when your fear of failure will be overwhelmed by an instinct to act. If you listen to it, you will succeed.
And in any case, I'd rather have a king who questions himself here and there than have a king who completely believes he's never wrong and he's never listening to anyone because, he deserves to be king and stuff.
So the other one would try his hardest to just be worthy of the title.
Like, maybe he's not gonna present a strong front in the beginning, but still. Like I said, Alfred wasn't supposed to be king either, and he managed.
What do you see in this Greenlander that makes you trust him? Maybe his courage.
Maybe the fact that he beat like 10 guys by himself last episode.
Courage is not rare here. His is. It doesn't come from speeches or pounding of shields. It comes from belief in his own ability and nothing else. In my experience, that is rare.
Tell your father I can give him 5,000 men and 1,000 horses, but it'd be a mistake to send them to London. London is Canute's target, but he will attack the city from the north.
No.
Which means he will march through Mercia. You must first stop him here.
That is not what the Queen Emma believes.
Mm-hmm. She's good.
Queen Emma? Is your father not well?
The king is in excellent health, but his wife, as you know, is a Norman. What better person to plan the defense of a Viking attack than a descendant of Rollo himself?
Yeah, confirmed.
I knew a noble named Godwin from Sussex.
My father.
It didn't end well for him, did it?
You're not talking to my father. You're talking to me.
A lot of attitude in these characters. I like
The
it.
king knows exactly what he's doing.
Doesn't sound like that to me.
Show confidence.
Sounds like he has no plan and has placed England's future in the hands of a foreign queen, a boy prince, and an advisor whose father destroyed his family name.
Hey, your king
Then do
commands
nothing.
it.
But be willing to stand by it, because one day I will be king. And I can promise that I will remember both your doubt and your decision to refuse an order.
You go, kid. You show strength. Your instinct was great on this one.
Who said I would not obey a summons from the king?
Kinda.
Tell father
Just did.
and your stepmother. Mercia will be there.
Stepmother, okay.
I knew that I liked her for a reason.
That you liked her?
Yep.
Why? Because she's the stepmother?
No?
Okay, she was Rolo's.
She's a descendant from Rollo. She's looked like a fierce queen, and now we know why.
We lost, aren't we? Not lost. This is your fault, and the fault of all the Christians and their false god.
You sound like a frightened child.
The sky tells me we are headed west. Ocean gannets flying high tell me the weather is improving. We're near land.
There are birds, so you're near. True.
And where are the other boats?
The other boats are not my responsibility.
They are probably lost.
Like Harald said, he does have a courage and his capabilities.
Dude, no. Oh, bitch. Oh, bitch. Stupid shit.
Christians have cursed us. They all must die. I'm taking over the boat.
Let them go!
What, Greenlander? You going to kill me?
Why, yes, he
I'm
will.
not a bear. You are not a Viking.
You look like a bear. That's enough for me.
You're forcing him to do this, bitch.
So you're not interesting.
Fucking
Nah.
land. If he had waited just a little bit.
Who's next?
Idiot. You idiot.
My father was an ealdorman. He took 24 of the king's ships and used them for his own greed. For that act, he was stripped of his lands, his wealth, and his title, and was imprisoned until his death.
How is it then that you are now one of my father's closest advisors?
Made a name for
He never
himself.
blamed me for my father's failure. I provide him with something he cannot get from his nobles.
The truth.
The truth, Your Highness.
Nobles would kiss your ass just to, get favors.
What does that mean?
It means you are now a ruler.
Oh shit. Times to prove your worth.
He already proved that he could do it. It's just now he has to do it. He'll be fine.
Why have you returned my knife?
You will need it for your pilgrimage. I'm sending you to Uppsala to seek your destiny. Uppsala is the most secret site in our Viking world. Every 9 years we make sacrifices there to the gods that protect us.
Remember the place?
You must go there and see it for yourself before the Christian tide washes it away.
Wasn't that where they talked about killing?
Atosar.
Sound the horn!
So, we have one dead. He slipped. He did it.
Viking.
It's kind of like, that's the way of our people. Always fighting. You can also take it as you're a true Viking. People can say otherwise, but you did your duty.
You killed someone, you're a Viking.
You're a part of us. So, a good example, I think, of what we talked about last episode about how, like, we should stop seeing this as black or white, like Saxon versus Danes and stuff like that. So much time has passed since, they mixed that we got descendants from Rollo now preparing to fight descendants from King Harald, people who live in Kattegat where Ragnar was. So two brothers that started lines that led to now these two people who see themselves as different people, different sides in this war. Not to say that Ragnar and Rollo did not fight, but if only, like, I'm all for, a united front. I'm all for one people.
Unity,
I don't like confrontation and stuff. So I can't help but be like, well, my God, if only they, like, for all of them that call, oh, my ancestors used to be like that. Like, if you remembered your ancestors, you would fucking realize that back in the day, they used to be one people, man. You all used to be one people. Brothers. Not everyone, but most of them, descended from guys who fought together, guys that were part of the same family, people that came from the same culture.
But also guys who fought against each other, you know?
It's just one way to show that history changes constantly. People will travel, they will start lines, families, and places, and those people will learn a new culture, a new history, a new way of life. And then that way of life will become different from the ones in other places, and it will create conflict. But at the beginning of everything, we used to have no lines separating us. We used to be one people. So we're not different. Like, we're not different from one another. But apparently humanity loves to, loves confrontation, loves to fight each other, fight the ones that they deem different. It sucks. Makes for good drama, but it sucks. So yeah, Rollo has a descendant. What?
Oh, it's just funny. It's just our own stupidity is just funny to me, you know?
Yeah, it's humanity. We are flawed.
Yeah.
So Rollo has a descendant who's fucking badass, and I mean she strikes me as a badass.
She seems to be badass, and I think she is badass.
She is not the mother of the now current king. She's the stepmother, so he remarried. She still seems to be doing her duty. I want to see more of her. I think she's intelligent. I love the whole, like, they're going to be underestimating me, which, of course, you're a woman. They're not going to think that, you deserve to be in charge of anything. But now that your stepson is the king, he's still a boy. He has it in him. I think he's got what it takes to be a good king. But she would also maybe be behind manipulating things a little bit.
You know what? She's still young and she's the stepmom. Do you think that she might remarry the current king, King Eggman?
No, he's way too young.
He's not way too young.
No, I don't think that's where it's going. But it could still lead to conflict because now he is one way. He's young. He's not used to this. He will maybe listen to her more, to the advisors, because he's afraid of failure. So if they tell him this is how you need to do things, maybe he'll be inclined to follow that. But as he gets older, more confident, I'm wondering if it will create a conflict of her wanting to do things her way and him wanting to do things his way. And since she's a stepmom, maybe there's not, the bond might not be as strong as it could be. So we have seen mothers and sons fight each other in history, in this show, in Vikings. Like, it's happened. So we'll see where it leads them. But she's strong-minded and she knows what to do. She knows how she wants to do things. So right now he's following her. I'm wondering if maybe in the future he'll stop and that will create conflict. But we'll see.
Strangely enough, I do think that she wants what's best for him and for him to be
I'm not saying she doesn't want what's best for him. I'm saying she wants to do things her way. But in this universe, and in history, she's a woman. She has no say, and right now the only reason why they're listening to her is because he wasn't king yet and her husband was ill. So she was in charge, she was the adult in charge, but now that he is king, people will listen to him. So I'm wondering if her pride will, and people would call her they already do call her a foreigner queen.
Yeah.
So, and now she's not even queen anymore because she's her husband's dead. So now that he is king,
she's the queen regent.
Yeah, but still, she's like, if you marry, she's over.
Yeah.
So I wonder if maybe she'll want to do things her way and it will create conflict later on. Because right now I think he's going to be okay listening to advice and stuff. He's new, he's young. But nobles and advisors, they were already like, I judged the previous king kind of harshly, but he still did what he did. So sounds like, what he did was to appease the nobles. But that's the thing, like, when you're king, you can't just do whatever you want. You have to listen to the people around you and make them happy because they're the reason why you're still king. If they want you away, they want you gone, they will plot and they will arrange for you to get murdered if they want to. So you got to be careful. Keep them. They're the ones that bring the money. Like, they're literally the ones that keep you who you are, where you are. So
yeah,
if people start saying like, oh, you've been listening to your stepmother, she's a foreigner, she doesn't understand our way, she's a woman and stuff, like, we'll see where it leads, but it could definitely lead to conflict. So,
but at least it says gone against that nobleman opinion, right? So he had
Mercia?
Yeah,
but he was told to do that, and he was told by what's his name? the advisor Godwin. Anyway, he was told by him that he needed to follow his instinct, which is good advice. And like I said, I actually like a king who's willing to question himself and his decisions, because a king that doesn't believe into his advisors or doesn't question himself, it is respected. A king who's like, this is how I want to do things, and I lead and people follow, and I never question myself. Like, you need to appear sure, but behind closed doors, you also need to wonder sometimes if this is the right thing to do, because if you never question it, you might be wrong one day and mess up.
You will not improve. But also, a king who always questions his decisions is not good either.
The extremes are not good, but that's the thing. I'd rather have one king that sometimes questions himself. Not like, am I worth the crown or something? Like, just questioning his decisions, listening to advice. This is good. He's young though. That could change. Like, we've seen kings in shows like this who've changed.
Edward.
I thought about him. I definitely thought about him. So, but yeah, he gave good advice. The queen said she doesn't trust him, but she's been giving him tasks like taking care of the future king, who is now king. To me, I think she's really intelligent. I think it's proof that she knew where it was going. She knew her husband was going to die, and she needed to gain allies for herself and for Edmund. Yeah. Edmund, right?
Edmund, yeah.
So she played her cards right. By sending him, it showed that he was already, taking charge. It put him at the front. He needed to be seen. He needed to take his place. It also hid the fact, like, she couldn't go, and they needed to show, like, the king is ordering you to show up, so they couldn't just send anyone to do this, so he needed to go. It sent a message, and sending him, Godwin or Goodwin, as an advisor, also kind of, she gave a little trust. Maybe she doesn't trust him, she's just keeping him at arm's length, but showing him a little trust will mean that he will give her respect a little bit more. If she shows that, she will use him as a valuable player in this, that will not create necessarily rebellion. She needs him on her side.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend, or at least you keep them close. So in that case, both of them have a common enemy. They want to protect themselves from the Viking, because if they don't,
it's the same sort of speech that that they have on the other side. Like, the whole, it's not you and me against them, it's us against them. We need to be united, because what's it gonna matter who you are when you get killed, right?
Nothing.
Kind of like
you're gonna bleed red.
Kind of like on that ship. Like, it doesn't fucking matter whose god you're following. If you don't do your job and we drown, you're gonna die anyway. So right now it doesn't matter. You do your job. You are all one people under one guy who leads you. He's not a Christian. He's not a Viking. He's not a follower of the old ways. He's just your captain. You follow his order. You don't listen, that leads to problem. And you die.
He was so good at his job that he was so far ahead with his ship.
But he's good at this. Like, that's why he, what's his name? Harald wanted him on his side, because he managed to come all the way from Greenland to Kattegat in a storm, and he still survived. He was good at this. That's why he wanted him. Harald really played his cards well.
Is it Leif Erikson, the name of the Viking who explored America? Or not?
I don't remember. In this universe, it's Abba, so...
Yeah. I'm gonna have to look it up.
The real one? Yeah. I don't remember. The name sounds like something you've heard before. Yeah. Yes. For sure. Like, names come back though, so I don't know.
Sure. But still, but I can understand that when you're scared, you tend to act up on your fear and lash on the people, And
yeah, but I think that's why...
Since he already had a grudge against Christians.
But I think that's part of the reason why he wanted all the weapons in the barrel. Because when tensions are high, and especially when you have two people different like that, like I said it in the first episode, giving great speeches for the moment will allow them to, be like, oh, my brother. But then when it gets hard and you're starting to panic, you will blame the one who is different. The one you deem the enemy. Like, you see him as the opposition, so you'll lash out at him when you need someone to put your anger on. So it was a real stupid thing that Jarl did. He was a Jarl, right?
Yeah.
That he did, keeping that axe because he let his emotions speak for himself. And not just him, everyone who fucking created trouble on that ship. But to question him and what he could do, like, fuck off, man. Like,
just because he hadn't killed a man before, you know?
He didn't take him seriously.
You're
Like, you never proved yourself.
Viking. You never kill anyone. It's different killing a human being who can fight back. Sorry, sir, but animals can fight back too.
And go out there and try to kill a bear, and we'll talk, like, if they fight back or not. He didn't take him seriously, but no, he proved himself a true Viking by doing what needed to be done, keeping calm, and just proving everyone that, no, it's not because he never killed someone before that he can't do it. Like he said, he just never had a reason to, but he gave him a reason. And just a fucking show of strength and skill to just like, he seemed maybe a bit not troubled, but there was mist, so you could be like looking for the signs just to make sure you're still going the right way, and having him be like, oh, we're fucking lost. Like, yeah, you would maybe believe that. You don't really know. You don't know the guy. You don't know where the other ships are, so you think you're lost, but it's not your place to question the captain. You're not in charge. This is how the house of cards tumbles. If you start, messing with the chain of command, if you start messing up and putting fear in the hearts of the others by saying we're lost,
everything's gonna crumble.
Yeah.
Right after the other. One after the other. Sorry.
And like, I mean, joke's on you, because he definitely knew where he was and he got there before everyone else. Like Harald said, he's the type of guy that really believes in what he can do, in his capabilities, and he doesn't need someone to cheer and inspire him to do anything. He's the type of guy that inspires others, maybe. He doesn't need to be inspired. Because he knows what he can do.
That confident in his abilities.
Kind of like, if you're afraid of doing your job, of going there and killing, the enemy and going to war, you have the commander or whatever who gives a speech. He gives you courage and motivation. He makes you believe that you can do it, and then you go in like a fucking killer. But he doesn't need that. He has it himself. He believes in himself enough. He will do it without you. And that maybe, just maybe, puts him more like in the front as a leader than it would put him as a soldier or a fighter that follows. If he believes in himself, he can lead others. Just saying.
We will see.
Right now we have a couple, we have one king and we have a couple Jarls, but it's Vikings. It could change next episode. Who knows?
Ragnar became Jarl at the first episode or the second episode.
Or third episode, really early on in the first season.
And he was a farmer at the beginning.
And that led to kings and stuff like that. Like,
legend.
You can rise high in this show, so... And like you said, the name rings a bell, so maybe he becomes someone very important. It is, again, Viking, though. We don't know.
Yeah.
They could be giving him stuff, like achievements that are not his, or a name that is not necessarily, the right name for his character. But it's still, like, for this show, it's going to be cool. I'm seeing him as a future potential leader, so I'm excited. And I hope he gets his chance to show more of his skill. He's a good fighter. He's a good, captain. He's a Viking.
All right.
As for Freydis, I'm happy that she gets to go to I don't remember the name of the place,
Uppsala.
but yeah. The one thing I think I always preferred maybe in Viking was the depiction of rituals and the faith and just the culture, which it's intense, but the way they portray it is so
visually shocking, right?
Yeah. So I hope they kept that, and they still show us some of that, and that's a good opportunity to see that. Last time we went there, if it's the same place, it was fucking intense. So.
Same place. One time every 9 years, so it's the same place.
3 years.
9 years.
9 years?
9 years.
I was distracted. But it would be a good opportunity to see that, and it's for her who grew up in Greenland, surrounded by her little community, That's all she knew. What she's been taught, what, you know, her neighbors and stuff. Like, it's such a small place. She was never given the opportunity to see more of it, to really connect with her ancestors, to really see the traditions and the rituals. She knows about it, but she was never in it because she never got to travel. So now that she's there, she gets to see that holy place and really, really go deep in her heritage. So we'll see. We'll see what happens over there, but it's a good opportunity and it's pretty cool.
All right.
Okay, we're gonna end this here. We're gonna have many more opportunities to discuss this. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the next one right away, it is on Patreon already. You can check it out. The link is in the description below.
All right. So see you then, guys. See you next week.
Bye.